Well, it's been about 10 minutes when that sun went down. And sure enough, a lot of photographers out there said, well, with the sun gone, I guess I might as well pack it up and head on home. Nothing could be further from the truth. That's a bad idea as far as I'm concerned. Do not pack up your gear until all the light has gone for the day. We still have some wonderful dusky light out here, and what a perfect time to shoot cityscapes. Hi, I'm Bryan Peterson, author of Understanding Exposure and Learning to See Creatively. I'm going to show you a very simple exposure technique that assures you of each and every time, no matter where you are in the world, that you will get the perfect exposure of the cityscape. But the key is, when do you start to look for the correct exposure, and when do you shoot the perfect cityscape? Well, according to my watch, it's been 20 minutes that the sun has gone down, and that is the beginning of this narrow window of shooting cityscapes. You got about 6 minutes. Before we start, however, there's two things we need to discuss. One thing that I use faithfully is an FLW colored magenta filter. I use it almost without fail with every single cityscape I shoot. Doesn't matter where I am in the world. Secondly, where do we take our meter reading? Well, first things first, we're going to put the filter on the lens, and then that question, where do you take a meter reading from? I'll tell you, it's real simple. We're going to point the camera up above the cityscape into the dusky blue sky that now sits there waiting for us. What aperture am I going to use? Do I have any depth of field concerns? In this case, absolutely none, because everything's at the same focus distance. Therefore, I'm using, as you may recall from other video streams, the aperture of who cares, f8, f11. In this case, I'm at f11. As I now find myself at f11, I adjust the shutter speed until 10 seconds indicates the correct exposure. I therefore am all set up, ready to go, and recompose the scene. In this case, because it's a mirrored cityscape, I'll have all this water in front of me. I'm going to be splitting the frame right through the middle. Not to worry, even though that violates in normal landscape work, compositional principles, in this case it works fine because of the mirroring of the image. We're ready to go. All I have to do is trip the shutter, and 10 seconds later, there's our shot. Now remember, I spoke about that 6-minute window. I have about 6 minutes to keep shooting. I could be shooting a vertical here, I could change lenses, try maybe a different composition altogether. But my point is, you got to work fast, okay? 6 minutes is not that long of a time. Now some of you may say, well, what's the big deal? It's a night shot. The city building's lights will be lit up for several hours. Yes, that's true. But as you will discover here in a few more minutes, that sky is going to go black. You be the judge. Take a look at the shot again that I photographed during that narrow window with dusky blue sky, and you compare it now to what is essentially a black sky. Which one of these images do you feel is far more compelling? If you're like most of us, that dusky blue sky has phenomenal contrast against the city skyline. The black sky, it just goes flat. Until next time, this is Bryan Peterson suggesting that you get out here and keep shooting, especially after the sun goes down. Hey, if you got to put dinner off for a half hour, it's well worth the investment of your time.